$100,000 Bitcoin could be the low side of the spectrum. Hello and welcome to the weekly crypto review. So if you're watching anybody on YouTube talking about crypto, you already know that most people are talking about $100,000 Bitcoin as inevitable by the time the peak comes. And I'm looking at things, and I'm looking at the macro world as well as the crypto world, and I'm saying, that might just be a low figure. Let's go take a look at what we've got for. First, of course, if you think the information I'm giving you is valuable, subscribe, share, like, and if you really like to, you can always send crypto to any of the addresses at cryptocurious.tv/support. So let's take a look at what we've got. If we look at this last 7 days, the big names are all down. The top 13 are down. If we look at the big winners, these are mostly names. Engine Coin is one that people have heard of, Kyber Network, but most of the really big names are not listed as far as top plus for the past 7 days. It has been difficult. The last week has been difficult for crypto. There's been a lot of news, a lot of FUD in the markets, and so things are not really running very well. If we look at Bitcoin itself, and we're just starting a new week, last week was up. We had an up week, and we gained a little bit. We're at 7,400 currently, and as I have been saying for weeks now, I really don't expect this to move very quickly until after the halving, which is next May. I'm happy. I'm content with this. If you're lying awake at night worried about this price or worried about the price going down, you've got too much money in the market. I have been saying that for forever. But what I really wanted to talk to you about today was more of a macro view. Where is Bitcoin going, and what could be the catalyst for it to get there? Okay. We know that $20,000 Bitcoin is chump change for this bull run. At least assuming that Bitcoin does what it has always done, the cycle repeats. $20,000 is just the beginning. It was the end of the last bull run. It's the beginning of the current bull run. So where does Bitcoin go from here? 7,400 currently. Well, as I said, pretty much everybody is saying $100,000 or more for the top. Like I said, I've done some basic math, and Bitcoin over its lifetime, its short 11-year lifetime, has gone up on average of about 80 times, 80x, from the bottom of the market to the next top. Well, if that's the case, we're looking at a $250,000 Bitcoin. But what's going to cause that to happen? Why would it go up that high? What are the factors that are going to cause this to happen? Well, for one thing, if we look at the standard markets, Dow Jones, for example, okay, we'll just. So let's go back here. There we go. So we're now looking at this current bull run for the Dow, okay, which started down here. I mean, you can tell exactly where the bottom was. March 16th of 2009. And we all know what happened in 2008. The housing issue, the bank issue, the banks got bailed out. So we have been in this bull market for over 10 years. We're coming up on 11 years in about 4 months. Okay, this is the longest bull run for the stock market in history. There has never been a bull run in the stock market this long before. What does that mean? Well, first thing it means is that if it's the longest by length, by time, that means we're at the end. Absolutely, we are at the end. Okay? So what does that foretell? I think, and this is just me guessing, and as always, none of this is financial advice. I'm not telling you what to invest in, how much to invest, or where to invest. I'm simply giving you information as I understand it, my thoughts and opinions. But as I see it, with a currently $22 trillion debt, and knowing that they are already throwing more money into the market to keep this market alive. First of all, without getting too political, I know that President Trump and his Federal Reserve Chairman, Jay Powell, are doing everything that they can to ensure that this bull run continues up until the next election, which is a year from now, just under a year from now. As long as this bull market continues, or as long as the economy looks good, then Trump is going to win the election. And that's what he wants. He wants to win the election. So he's going to do everything he possibly can through his manipulator, Jay Powell, at the Federal Reserve, to make sure that the market stays up, that the economy stays good. If it turns, then there's a good chance that he will not be reelected, and he wants to be reelected. So this is just the political facts, okay? Without saying that him being reelected is good or bad, this is how the game's played. Anybody, whether they're Democrat, Republican, or other, is going to do whatever they can to get reelected for a second term, okay? And in this case, it's the economy, stupid, just like it was back in the 90s. So as long as the economy, as long as this trend line, and we'll just draw it, as long as that trend line stays in that basic arrangement, then chances of being reelected are good, okay? Now, knowing that, understanding that one basic fact, we know that they're going to manipulate this market with every tool they have. We've already seen Trump screaming about we need to lower interest rates. Well, we're under 2% now, right? If the economy tanks, it generally takes 4% of interest rates drop to turn it around. Well, we're under 2%. Once we get to zero, then what? Negative interest rates. People are going to get paid to take out loans. I know it makes no sense. A smart person looks at this and says this is ridiculous, but Japan has been doing it for 30 years. Europe has been doing it for 10. So that is not only a distinct possibility, that is a probability. Before the next bear market ends, I predict that we will probably have negative interest rates of some sort in the U.S. That's the only thing they can do. That's one of the only things they can do. That also means chances for rampant inflation are extremely high, which means that the dollar is going to be worth less money than it currently is, and it's currently worth 2 pennies. Not much lower that it can go. So then what? What are people going to look at to retain wealth or to increase their wealth? If the stock market is going down, if they put money in stocks and all they see is that money going away, and they can't save money, they can't put money into a bank account and save it and retain that wealth, because again, inflation is eating away at that value. Where can they put their money? Well, up until 10 years ago, the place that they put their money was into gold and silver. Those were the safe havens. Those were the place that's where people put their money to retain it and make money while everything else was dropping. Because as the markets drop, gold and silver tended to rise. Okay, so you put $50,000 from the stock market into gold and or silver, and by the end of the bear market, the bear stock market, you might pull out $55,000 out of, and put it back into the stock market back here, down here at the bottom. Okay, which was great. You didn't lose money, and you didn't make a lot, but you made a little bit. But the big thing was you didn't lose money. And this is what people are going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for investments that don't cost them anything. If they don't make money, that's fine, just so long as that they can pull out what they put in, at least what they put in. If they can pull out more than what they put in, that's fantastic. That is an optimum investment. Well, where do you suppose they're going to be able to do that? Maybe Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies in general. Because if you think about it, we're looking at Bitcoin being a 4-year cycle. Well, we're currently at the end of the second year. If you look at the bear market as being the first year, it could, and we could look at it as we're in the end of the second year. The first year was the bear market down. The second year is this part of the market going up. Or we could look at it as we're in the first year of a 4-year, and because we're the first year up. That still means we have, either way, it means we still have 2 more years of up market. Okay? So if the president and the Fed are doing everything they can to control the stock market, make sure that it continues up for the next year, that still gives us another year after that, when the stock market is in decline, to go up even further. Okay? And still maintain this 4-year cycle. I suspect, especially since, if we're looking at how this has played out in crypto before, we're not going to top 20,000 again until 200 days after the halving. So, the end of next year, the end of 2020 is probably where we're going. Around the end of 2020 is where we're going to probably top $20,000 again per Bitcoin. At that point, you're going to have CNBC, CNN, Forbes, all those people are going to be talking about Bitcoin again. Bitcoin is maybe not every day, maybe not daily, but once a week or more, they're going to start talking about, hey, Bitcoin is back up above 20,000. It's valuable again. What do you think? And that is going to drive the price up, because people are going to be looking at, hey, this has been going up all year, or for the past 2 years. This has been going up, and they're going to see it as a potential investment to make money, especially as they see that top come in in the stock market after the election. This time next year, December of 2020, the election will have been in. We'll know who the president is for the next 4 years, and either way, I suspect that we're going to see the top. December 2020 into January 2021, we're going to see the top of the market. If we don't see it just slightly prior to the election, I could see it coming in October, November of 2020 as well. Because even if it comes in a month or so before the election, that's not enough lead time for people to start hurting. It could actually come in 3 to 6 months before the election. And it's still not going to be enough lead time for people to start hurting, and it will not cost, at least on the economy aspect, it won't cost Trump the election that way. So I absolutely see the top coming in next year, by this point next year, absolutely by this point next year. And so people are going to start looking for places they can put their money. Well, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, is going to be one of those places. We don't know. We absolutely, honestly do not know what the crypto market, Bitcoin or any of the other cryptocurrencies, are going to do in a bear market economy, stock market economy. We have no idea, because Bitcoin wasn't made until after the bear market, the last bear market. Okay, it's never been in a bear stock market, so we don't know what to expect. My guess, and that's all it is, but my guess is that what we're going to see is a massive bull run in crypto, even more so than gold. Gold is going to get a lot of people, probably the majority of people, because it's a market people have known for 5,000 years, longer than that. People understand gold. They know what it is. It's shiny, it's pretty, it's valuable. It will always be valuable. So there are people who aren't thinking, people who aren't looking beyond what has always worked. They're going to go to gold and silver, and it's going to rise in price massively. The people who are looking for something different, who are looking at returns, they're going to be the ones who come to Bitcoin. And as they learn more about Bitcoin, I suspect they're going to diversify within the crypto market. And since they're probably likely to come in through something like Coinbase, and Coinbase allows you to buy several currencies, including Ethereum and Litecoin and Chainlink and I think BAT and a bunch of others, makes it easy to convert their fiat dollars into crypto. I can see a lot of those currencies that are offered by Coinbase going up in price because, again, the people who are looking for a better than average return are going to, and anyone, literally anyone under the age of 50, and I say this as someone who's in my mid-50s, but literally anyone under the age of 50 is likely to come into the new thing, which is crypto. Those who are over 50, very few of us have any clue about crypto, have any idea about crypto. My dad, who's in his mid-80s, understands stocks. He understands bonds. He understands how that works. He's been playing the stock market for 40, 50 years, okay? When I told him back in 2017, I told him I'd bought some Bitcoin, and he was shocked. Oh my God, what are you doing? He thought I had lost my mind. Okay, well, I don't expect my dad to understand cryptocurrency, even though my dad was a programmer for 40 years. He understands. He taught me how to program. He doesn't understand crypto. Okay, and that doesn't surprise me. I'm not absolutely. Grandma is probably not going to be buying Bitcoin. Okay, but dad, mom and dad, and people my age and younger, good chance that we'll be buying Bitcoin. And as we get into Bitcoin and we start to understand the market better, so we start to diversify into other cryptos that are easily obtained. Okay, and that's the key, easily obtained. Can I send money to an exchange and convert that fiat directly into a specific crypto? Like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Chainlink, BAT, okay? And again, Coinbase is, Kraken too, but to some extent, but Coinbase I think is going to be where the majority of people are going to end up when they come into this market, because it is, if you ask somebody who knows about crypto, you're looking to get in, how do I get into crypto? Well, you go to Coinbase and you create an account. That's the standard answer, I think. And so if it's offered through Coinbase, I think that those are the cryptos that are most likely to go up in price over the bear market, the stock bear market. And I think that that's going to just drive the price of crypto through the roof. And that's why I believe, and again, this is my opinion, this is a guess, but I believe that we're going to see crypto, Bitcoin specifically, go up to as high as the mid six figures. And I'm going to say mid six figures. I'll let you determine what that means to you. Okay? But I think that, yeah, $100,000 is just the beginning. By the end of this bull run, and it also is a possibility that this bull run could be a little longer than we usually expect. If I look back at Dow Jones, okay, and so we look back at, all right, there's the beginning of this bull run. Let's look at where's the bear run? Come on. See, it peaked over here. It only went down, so it looks like that bear. Of course, it was a weird circumstance, but the bear run went from October of 2007, the middle of October 15th, 2007, to March of 2009. Is that right? So it lasted, a year. A little over about a year and a half. Okay. I was looking farther back thinking, oh, it must have been a longer. I wasn't realizing, I didn't realize the scale I was at here. So this is, well, let's find out. Let's find out exactly what this is. Let me see here. There we go. Will this give me what I'm looking for? So, really? 71 bars. So 71 weeks. A year is 52. So we're looking at just under a year and a half. Because a year and a half would be 77. So yeah, literally just under a year and a half for that bear market. So if the stock market goes into a bear market end of 2020, that means that it will probably last until it'll be in a bear market 2021 and into 2022. First 4 to 6 months of 2022. Absolutely. I can see, and we are already expecting, based on a 4-year cycle, okay, 2019 was the first year of the new bull market. So we got 3 years. That's 2019, 2020, 2021. Okay? End of 2021 is going, typically, we expect to be the end of the bull market for crypto, for Bitcoin and crypto markets in general. Because 2022 is going to be a bear market. That's the 4-year cycle right there. 3 years up, 1 year down, typically. Okay? So we're looking at 2022 to be that bear market. Well, okay, we look at this market. We assume that the bear market starts in the stock market sometime around the end of 2020, and it goes for a year and a half. That's middle of 2021. Okay, I'm sorry, 2022, middle of 2022. Bear market for all of them. So absolutely, I can see as a last gasp effort, I can see Bitcoin going, what's beyond parabolic? Literally mooning. Where when we look at, wrong way. When we look at this parabolic rise, whoops. I moved it. That's why. When we look at this parabolic rise here, and we see these long candles, imagine those 3 to 4 times that length at the end of this bull market. Okay? I absolutely can see mid-6 figures for a Bitcoin. Now, of course, whatever happens, I fully expect it to drop back down. In the bear market, I fully expect it to drop down to $30,000 to $40,000 per Bitcoin, which seems like a lot now, but considering where it's going to be at its peak, that's going to be a huge drop, and it's going to be painful for the people who don't get out at the top. The people who don't get off the elevator near the top floor are going to find it very painful. Those who get on near the top floor are going to find it extremely painful. They're going to lose not only are they going to lose from having kept their money in the stock market too long, they're going to lose because they put it into the crypto market too late. Okay? Don't be that person. Don't be the person who gets in on the elevator at the top floor. We're at the ground level now. Okay? This was the basement down here. If you're watching this video, you're one of the people who got in between somewhere either the basement or the first floor. So you're doing well. People who are going to find this painful are the ones who are going to come in at the top, the top floors, because they're going to see some fantastic gains, because it's going to be on the news, not just daily. When it goes up, when it's at this point in its next bull run, okay, in 2021, when it's at this point in its next bull run, it's going to be on the news every hour, every day. Bitcoin, 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 crypto, crypto, Bitcoin, Bitcoin, crypto. Okay? That's all you're going to be hearing about. Certainly on Bloomberg and Fox Business and CNBC, they're all going to be talking about it, and they're going to be pushing people to get in. And all that. And if you got in down here, anywhere in this area, If you got in anywhere between here and here, okay, 20,000 up to 20,000, you're going to be really happy that you did. You're going to be ecstatic because you're going to be seeing whatever amount you put in 10x, 20x, 100x. Very possible. Okay? Be patient. Be thoughtful. Don't put more into the market than you're comfortable with. And honestly, you can end up putting a lot of money into the market a little at a time. Again, not investment advice, but the smart person who wants to end up with a lot of money is going to put a little bit of money in every paycheck. $100 here, $100 there. $50 here, $50 there. $50 could certainly turn into $5,000. Okay? That's a huge bump in value. It doesn't take a lot of money to end up quite wealthy. So that's how what I see happening. The next bear market, when it comes, is going to be painful. I think it's going to be massive. I fully expect people are going to be talking about not the Great Depression back in the 30s, but the Greater Depression of the 2020s. Okay, the 100-year depression. That's what I think they're going to talk about. The 100-year depression, because we're close enough to. We're talking 90 years from the last one. I fully expect them to talk about this 90-year depression or 100-year depression, and I think that it's going to cause people to go into Bitcoin because they're going to see the value skyrocket. Anyway, that's what I've got today for this week. I just wanted to give you an idea of what I've been thinking about and where I'm at, and I will see you next week.